Live, guys, it's your boy Z-Dog MD. Welcome to the Z-Dog MD show. We're live on YouTube and Facebook because we can. I think I'm gonna pull up your comments here, and I want your comments because today we're doing something fun and different and weird. You guys remember we did this show, music video, Waiting on the World to Change, about how frontline healthcare professionals have been screwed in every which way possible. We go to work even when we're under threat of death. We don't have the right PPE. We're watching the world fall apart around us. People aren't listening to science and reason and not using critical thinking, but we still go into work, take care of patients. And this was a video that we thought really got that message out, that we support our front lines, that we need to step up and be the change we want to see in the world. I live in the Bay Area. I moved back here about a year ago. It turns out I reached out to multiple hospitals in this community, asking them if we could shoot our music video that honored frontline healthcare professionals here. And to a one, they all told us absolutely not. And it had nothing to do with COVID because we reached out before COVID started. They're just too risk averse. They're afraid. They don't see the value in it. They don't see the value in what we're doing. There was an exception, and that was John Juro here in San Mateo County. He is the CEO of the San Mateo County Health Foundation, and he runs a foundation that's actually helping to care for not just our most vulnerable patients in the 14th richest county in the country. The people who actually run everything need care. And these guys provide it, not only for the patients, but for the caregivers who they support. And John is on the show today. John.
Thanks for having me, Z-Dog.
Dude.
Big fan. Thanks for you guys, coming out to the medical center. It was a lot of fun to, shoot my first music video.
Dude, yeah, you were the star of that thing. You played the evil administrator. It was awesome.
Right.
Who kind of turned around, who came along and was like there with us. And
well, that's hopefully where we can all go with that. Hopefully we can get all administrative and, everybody in charge, if you will, to be on the same page with our frontline workers.
Dude, so I have to say, before we get into the fun stuff, like how deeply appreciative the whole Z-Pack is for what you guys were able to do. Because on a Saturday, when you guys were still working, but there were many people that were off, they came in on their day off. The whole respiratory therapy department at San Mateo Medical Center came in. You were there. A member of your board of directors was there, and you were there all day shooting this video with us, blood, sweat, and tears, throwing out ideas. Like, it was awesome, dude.
Right.
And again, like I said, there were no other hospitals in the area that were even willing to entertain this idea, but you guys did. Why? Why would you take that risk?
Well, we did have the advantage of having a closed wing at the hospital, so that really did help. We had a closed nursing wing that looks like a nursing wing. It looks really great. We were able to shoot there.
It's beautiful, yeah,
and not have to worry about HIPAA stuff and seeing other patients and getting involved in the way of medical care, if you will. So, for us to be able to do that with you, it was something fun that we were able to offer the staff. It's like, hey, who wants to come out on Saturday, be in a music video? And it's not like you have 5 views, I think there's already over 100,000 views or something of that video, I was told.
Yeah.
So how fun is that to get some exposure for the foundation, exposure for the hospital, exposure for them just to say, hey, look to all my friends, look what I did. I was on a video this weekend. Rachel Daly, she's the respiratory manager there. She was like the star of the video, and now she's famous around the hospital. Everybody knows her, and it's just a really great thing.
It's funny. Rachel's amazing.
Yeah,
she's a star.
Awesome.
She's the one, for people who don't remember, she's the one putting on all the yellow PPE in the beginning and the capper and everything. And we had her play in slow motion, and she was a joy to work with. She really got it. She was funny as heck, and the whole respiratory therapy department was like, dude, Z, the reason we're here is you made a rap video for us, and we really appreciate it. And I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, karma actually works. So they made a great video.
Yeah, it definitely didn't happen without the help of the administrative team at the hospital.
Yeah, they were there.
You had a huge fan on the team. Dr. Alpa Sangavi is a huge fan of yours. The COO, Robert Blake, was also a fan of yours. He said, he really wanted to support it. And it turned out great. I think we got it done in what you guys said was record time. We didn't break anything.
Yeah, barely. I mean, we may have broken a couple vents, minor stuff.
Nobody got hurt. Everybody went home at the end of the day and was happy, and it just worked out really well. So I'm glad it did.
It's funny because most hospitals think we're just a typical film crew that comes through and just trashes the place and doesn't care about HIPAA and all that. And then they don't realize, like, just put 2 and 2 together. I'm a doctor. covered by HIPAA.
Right.
I have a reputation.
Right.
I would like to continue working at what I do.
Right.
I care about the staff and the people here and the patients.
Right.
So, but you got it right away because we met that one time. You took me. This was pre-COVID.
Yeah. Right.
And then COVID happened, and I'm like, there's no way anywhere is going to let us shoot this COVID tribute because it's just so hard to do. But then you had that wing that was shut down, so it really worked great.
Yeah, it was totally off of everybody else, so it was all good.
So this is the thing. So Logan's here. We were talking about if we were going to do that video again, how would we do it? Because we realized something. Rachel, who's putting on the PPE in the beginning, was so amazing in slow-mo putting that on that we said, you know what? We made a music video. What we should have made is the entire video should have been following her through her day.
Right.
In partially in slow motion, partially normal speed, and no me in it at all. Just a full tribute to what they do every day. And it would have been amazing. No one would have watched it, but it would have been awesome.
It's an idea. I don't even know how you could get that into 3 minutes. I mean, the stuff that a respiratory therapist says. So my background is an X-ray tech, and I purposely didn't get into respiratory therapy because of it's just a lot. It's gross. I mean, they got to do some serious, work in there, and they're working all day long. I mean, it's a tough team to be on.
Snot's the one thing that makes me want to freaking puke.
Yeah, it's not it's not pretty, but they make it pretty, and they make it just.
And now,
wow, what a job they do.
I mean, during this business with this whole, I believe there's a pandemic going on that has respiratory. Somebody said, I think it's a hoax. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a hoax, but
all the folks at the hospital, we're all in on it.
Yeah, there's a thing. Actually, talking to those guys, to see the dedication and the fact that they risk their lives, but you guys have PPE'd them up now. I was blown away by how much they were supported. This is the thing. This is a little shout out to San Mateo Medical Center. So I've been to a lot of hospitals, and UMC is one of my favorite in Vegas. They let us shoot out there. They're wonderful people. They're a safety net hospital, huge. Nobody knows about you guys. You're like a hidden gem here in the peninsula, taking care of 90% Hispanic population.
Yeah, it's up there in the high percentages of the Latino population that we see here at the hospital. It's we live in a really wealthy community, but we have tons of farm workers. We have tons of service workers who live here and take care of people every day, and they're often forgotten about. And a lot of them are our patients. A lot of them either don't have insurance or underinsured. We take care of the small homeless population, but there's a homeless population in San Mateo County, and we take care of them. The hospital takes care of them too, and the foundation. We support the hospital. So we support the hospital to get them the things they need to take care of these patients, start programs if they need to start programs to take care of these patients. We're there for not only the patients, but the staff. So, during COVID, we were able to get the staff just, PPE and meals and, different things for them to just to have some, comfort at work, and the whole community rally around it, and just been amazing.
This is the right role for philanthropy in medicine. Right.
Right.
You don't necessarily, you're augmenting government assistance and things like that. It's probably a Medicaid population and safety net hospital and all those challenges. But then you guys at the foundation, and that's why I put a donate link in. It's a special ZDogg donate. So if you get over $20, I'm going to read the previous donors on here from the thing in a second. But if you support these guys, even if you don't live in this community, what you're saying is, I'm supporting frontline healthcare professionals taking care of our most vulnerable patients. Right. And we're one people.
Right.
It
just came up actually today, which is kind of a good example of things that we can do. Yeah, even if you're not in our community. There's a young lady who just found out she had cancer, and she needs fertility to save her eggs, and Medi-Cal doesn't pay for that. Medicare doesn't pay for that. So she has to come out of pocket about $9,000 to pay for that. So her oncologist reached out to the foundation today, and so we reached out to we'll be reaching out to our board and asking them to fund possibly this and start a whole new fund on taking care of patients like that that can never afford that. Why can't they have kids when they're done with cancer? And we should be able to help those kind of things out, and that's exactly where this type of money goes.
That's lovely. And the thing is, it's not like her fault she got cancer.
No.
And for people that don't understand, the chemotherapy can cause sterilization. So if
Right.
you don't preserve those eggs, you're not going to have children potentially.
Right.
And this is a huge impact to someone's life. So see, that's the kind of work you guys do. People they don't know what you do.
Right.
You guys fly right under the radar, but you have donors in this wealthy community. But it's never enough.
Right.
Yeah.
It's never enough. I mean, we do everything from that type of stuff to funding mammography machines. State of the art mammography machines that were, there's no reason that the patients at the county hospital shouldn't have the same type of care as Stanford, Peninsula Hospital up the road, Johns Hopkins. I don't care where.
Yeah.
There's no reason that it shouldn't be the same type of care. So we help fund get the equipment to make it the same as it is down at Stanford or up at Peninsula.
And what I remember hearing from the staff, when we were shooting the video, it was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like that was
a good day.
And we're not even really doing it justice, you guys. Like, 'cause we were off the rails. It was a lot of fun, and it came out perfect. And we left that hospital as clean, if not cleaner, than we came, because we actually care about this community too. I'm a doctor. Logan isn't, but he plays one on TV.
I am a doctor.
He
did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express.
He sure did. He did. He's Dr. Dre Light.
Right.
But the staff would tell me, listen, like I've worked here, I've worked there, I've worked at Stanford, I've worked here. I've never felt so supported. I've never felt like I've had enough time with my patients until I came here. I feel like this is a wonderful team. We take care of each other. It's hard. It's really hard, and COVID has been really hard, but this foundation helps and these things help. That you don't hear that often from frontline people.
Right.
What I often hear is, so are you going to say anything about staffing? Are you going to do anything about this? Right. Hey, can you tell these guys, can you sneak a thing in the video about this time? They were like, yeah, this is great. I'm so glad you're supporting this hospital. I mean, so it was really nice to see.
It's a fun place to work. I came from San Francisco General, so, it was
me too.
Big place. It's a fun place to work, but you don't get nearly the connection with the patients that you do at a small place like this. It's really, the care there is amazing because the techs, the nurses, the doctors, they know their patients. They know who they are. It's not like a new person every day. They know these people. They know these 70,000 people that they take care of. And it's a big family, but it's a small family at the same time. And it's just a fun place to work. And, I've been all over. Both my parents are doctors. I was raised in a hospital, did training at privates and worked in publics. And I'll tell you, it's a real, like you said earlier, it's a hidden gem and it's really unique.
So what shout out do you have for the rad techs out there, man? Because you came up in the game.
Man. I started as a rad tech. The grind at San Francisco General and those trauma rooms was, eye opening because I trained at a private and I learned more in the 2 days at General
male ward
there than I did in the all of my training. Shout out to all the X-ray techs out there, to all the techs, man, nurses, everybody out there, everybody that X-ray works with. It was a lot of fun. I worked night shift and day shift. I worked all over the place, and then decided I wanted to get into management and administration.
What the hell?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was great to do that because it got me into this role here in the foundation. I've never been happier, helping people every day. I feel like I can help so many more people on a way greater scale than I could as an individual X-ray tech. And so it's been really great to kind of go through that transition.
So let's talk about that for a second, because this is important, I think, to my audience, because I think a lot of us like to take a crap on administrators because they're easy targets.
Right,
like, you went to the dark side.
Right.
You were a clinician, but that doesn't even matter. And then if you're not a clinician from the beginning, well, then you're just you're in a different universe of evil.
Right.
But I think what people don't realize is what you just said, which is many of us, and I've left full-time clinical medicine, I still see patients, but I do this. This is my thing. And people say, well, then you're not a real doctor, or you're no longer, you're in the dark side. You're now influenced by other things. No. The truth is, we feel like we found our path. It goes from clinical to super clinical to whatever it is. And we can help more people in this.
Right.
Because we found it. Like, you're a really good person. Like, and as an X-ray tech, that's key. Putting people at ease, getting those little babies to...
Right.
Actually, I have no idea if you have to ask a baby to do that.
Or just even calming down the mom so you can put the baby in those pigostats. And if you don't know what a pigostat is, it looks like a torture device. You literally put a child in there, they put their hands up, and you strap them in so you can take a chest X-ray. It's terrible, but we have to do it. You have to have some kind of personality to do that.
Did you have the personality that I had, where when I'd see a kid in one of those things, because I've seen it, I would go in my mask, I am Cornholio.
I was so worried. I got him out of there as quick as I could, man. I can't stand kids screaming and parents.
Right?
You know, it's the one thing,
worst.
like, I could never work at a children's hospital.
too.
Because, like, you know, I love helping people, but, like, seeing a kid, I would just crumble.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I would just not, my knees would start shaking.
Being a dad too, empathy. And,
same thing. I
yeah,
can't, you know, I
can't do it.
can see other kids run around on cliffs, but I see my kids go near a cliff, I'm freaking out in the
I
ground,
know, right?
right? You know,
Totally
so,
helicoptering.
Right.
I'm
you
like,
know?
of helicopter parents, I'm like Airwolf. Remember Airwolf, that
Yeah.
old helicopter
Yeah.
show from the 80s? I'm like Stringfellow Hawk in that helicopter, just ready to shoot missiles at any danger.
Right. And it's not even real danger.
It's not even real, and then the kid doesn't get to take risks. But you know, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, so I just go like this and say, go do what you got.
That's what I've started doing. Yeah. And then they come home with a snake.
Yeah, right.
This happened the other day. Holding a snake. I'm like, you know, that there are rattlesnakes here.
Yeah.
Oh, but this isn't a rattlesnake, Dad. Yeah. This is a king snake. I looked it up. I Googled it.
Good.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Good.
You're really brave. I love it. You're basically
good.
the crocodile huntress.
That's good. My parents live up in Reno, and my kids met the next door neighbors who are like little hunter kids and stuff, and they came back with a snake, and I said, the snake's biting you. He's like, yeah, that's how I catch it. And it was just locked on his hand, wrapped around his wrist, and I'm just going like, all right, kids, step away from that kid. But you
It's
know,
like the Thunderdome up in Reno, man.
yeah, man, it's something else. It's
like
something else.
Mad Max.
I said, yeah, we're from like Northern California, the peninsula. My kids don't catch snakes by having them bite them. But hey, you know, now
No,
they
we're
learn
much
something
more
new.
tricky.
Now they learn something new.
We will invent pheromones to attract the snake.
There you go. We'll just trap it and watch it from afar. But
That's
yeah,
right.
It was really interesting to see the kids do that. But you know what? They're growing up, so it's all good.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Let's read some comments. Why not?
Who's watching us out there?
Les Proctor the third. That means there are two other Les Proctors who is a supporter plus one of the show. Children's hospitals are the happiest places in healthcare. I don't know, man.
The folks that I've met there, they're all really happy people,
Yeah.
and I tell them even more than any of the workers that I've ever worked with, like, bless you, because for you guys to be able to do that, where so many healthcare workers that I know can't do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being able to.
I know. I mean, that's how I feel about it. And again, they're a different breed of people.
Different breed, yeah.
So Karen Brown, who's a supporter, says, my son had to go in that thing. I am Cornholio. and I cried, and he was screaming.
Terrible.
I mean, it's
terrible.
an Iron Maiden.
Well, you actually need them to cry.
Yes.
That's the whole point. So they can take that
Take that deep
and they
breath.
take that deep breath, and you can get
So
the right
you,
picture.
as an X-ray tech, are paid to torture children and make
torture
them
kids.
cry.
I actually had
You're
my-
like a clown.
Yeah, I had my original X-ray teacher. She said, if they're not in pain, you're probably not taking the X-ray right,
Aye.
because you're not flexing it enough. You're not going to get a good view for the radiologist. Yeah,
Do you remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
yeah. Apparently, the next one's coming out like tomorrow on pay-per-view.
Exactly. And Keanu Reeves like 1,000 years old.
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
bro. But the funny thing is, I still remember the movie trailer previews they'd play on the commercials when I was a kid.
Right.
And they cut it a certain way. So, and this made me think of it because of the little kid in the thing. But it was, you see like the old, medieval inquisitor, and they're back in time in the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
And he's like, put them in the Iron Maiden. And Bill and Ted look at each other and they go, Iron Maiden, excellent.
Yeah.
And then he's like, execute them. And they're like, bogus. I don't know why.
Great movie.
Great movie. Coming soon.
I literally think to like tomorrow or the next day on pay-per-view it's coming out. I was just looking for movies to watch last night.
pay-per-view a thing still?
It's on, like on demand,
Oh,
Xfinity
on demand,
because
yeah.
you
Oh,
can't
like
leave your house and watch a
Comcast.
movie now. Yeah,
Right.
Comcast, so like
That's why I watched Eurovision, The Tale of Fire Saga 37 times. Because in Husavik, the whales are simple people. I don't know. Jessica Madden says, 2 boys with ASD 6 and 7. We need people who can take care of our kids. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you do for children in the foundation?
So we actually have a program called Bundle of Joy. It's actually a really fun program. We have angels from all over the community, as far as like LA. I think we had some from New York. People that sew blankets and baby hats and baby mitts and give us clothes. So what we do is we put them together in a bag, and all the newborns that come through our clinics at the hospital get a Bundle of Joy bag. So it has something to take care of them for the first like 2 weeks of life. So a packet of diapers, wipes, and enough clothes to get through the first couple weeks of life. So, hopefully mom and dad don't have to go out rushing to the store and all those kind of things. And it's an extra couple $100 that they don't have to spend. And that we give to them. It comes in a nice bag, and it's, something fun, that they get to have, and we throw little baby books in there and whatever we get donated. And they get a nice bag to take home. So those are the kind of little things that we do.
But they mean a lot to the experience of a new mother. That's the thing.
Right.
Because, I remember when we were delivering at Stanford, it was not a great experience. No fault of nurses or anything like that. It was a fault of just a system that was just kind of optimized to
Get them in, get them out.
Yeah, and the lactation counselors are just like, you will have the breast milk. And my wife was like, I'm so tired. You will pull out the booby. It's like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
Right.
Help. And so there's a touch and an intuition and you know what? We had a hand knitted little baby thing that they gave us there. And I thought that was the highlight.
Right.
Because it was a human thing.
Right.
It wasn't some algorithm spitting out some thing
Right.
and you're now dun 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 baby factory.
Right.
And so that's
a lot of our stuff is like handmade,
Right.
by sewers guilds in the area, and people just call and say, hey, it's COVID, and I've just been sewing away, and so we get all these blankets and really nice quilts and really cool things that we put in these bags that they're quality stuff,
That's awesome.
and they get to have those, so it's a good thing to do.
And you do stuff for women too, in terms of abuse and things like that. Yeah.
So we support the Keller Center. The Keller Center is something that the hospital has. It's their center for domestic violence, abuse, sexual abuse, and it's basically the place where if you happen to have that unfortunate path in life that you have to deal with that, you would be brought to the Keller Center for all of your screening, all of your interview, all that kind of stuff. And it's a really cool place. They make sure that victims who do come there only get interviewed one time, not multiple times. So they have to go through that trauma many times. It's a really great set of folks down there that run that place. And we support them however we can with foundation dollars to support staffing, whatever they need to make it run.
Tough question. Are they really busy?
Yeah, they're busy. Unfortunately, Keller Center is busy. I was speaking to some of the staff there, and during COVID, it's a little scary because a lot of mandated reporters, X-ray techs, doctors, teachers, people who normally see the kids of our community aren't seeing the kids of our community. So they're really, really worried about the kids at home that maybe aren't getting reported, things like that. And they have seen a little uptick in some abuse there, but it's a fact of life, and the fact that we have that facility to take care of people and really kind of bring them in and make sure that they have the least amount of trauma from that moment going forward. It's great that our community has that.
This was something I was talking to my pediatrician friend, and he was saying this has been one of the biggest. We talk about the COVID-19 iceberg. You have the tip of the iceberg, all the deaths, and long haulers and everything. Then you have everything else underneath. That's the ancillary effect of it. And one of it is because we don't have eyes on the ground anymore. Teachers, like you said, doctors, they're not laying hands on these kids and getting them in private and saying, what's going on? Why do you have that bruise? Why do you have that cut? Why are you limping? What's going on? And we're missing this stuff. And Paul Offit, who came on the show early on and was like, I think these, he's concerned that the lockdown's having ramifications beyond the direct health. He cited that. And it's really heartbreaking to think that we're relying on this serendipity of school and chance encounters.
But we are. I mean,
we are.
Because, if the kids don't leave their homes and that's where the abuse is happening, that's why we're mandated reporters,
And this is a question you may not be able to answer, you may not want to answer. Is Keller Center seeing more cases since COVID?
I don't quote me on this, but I believe so, that they had an uptick that I read, that they did have an uptick in patients that they did see in the first couple months. But I don't have any numbers on that. Yeah,
because I have not heard good things.
Right.
I have not heard good things. And again, you have to think about all these things. You have to paint a holistic picture of the situation. It's a terrible thing we're in.
People are losing jobs. They don't have money. They're stressed out. Food. People are going to get angry, and it's unfortunate part of it. And
the worst part of it is I can't get a place to shoot a video. And you know what? This is all about me,
and
John.
that's why we helped you out, because we knew that the world revolved around you.
That's a good segue.
And so,
because it does.
Right.
It's a good segue into, guys, are you donating yet? There's a link here, and I'm because
we're waiting for the world to change. So drop some change over to us, guys, at the foundation, so we can actually make a difference.
See, now we go into full Jerry Lewis telethon mode, guys. For mere $1 a day, you can support this starving foundation executive,
and you too can feel better about giving your money away. That's what I have to do. I have to sell people that, like, everybody gets to sell something to somebody, right? You get to sell these cool music videos. Everybody gets to have a product. My product is just to make you feel better.
That's nice.
I want to help you feel better about giving back to your community. And I know when I do, it makes me feel better. If it was for me, I wouldn't ask, but it's for people who need it. And so I think it's a worthy ask.
That is awesome. I'm going to read some YouTube comments now because we're live to both platforms.
YouTube. My kids will think I'm cool now.
You know what? For Facebook, kids are like, oh, what's up, old man? Okay, boomer.
But no, YouTube, I'm cool.
Yeah. YouTube, suddenly you're cool. Instagram, you're a little cooler. TikTok, you're Chinese.
I'm not cool at all.
Which is the coolest of all cool. People's Party Convention this weekend online. Oh, no, this is some spammer. I love YouTube. It ends with F Google and all of those.
Nice. We'll sell you something.
Yeah, that's right. Holly Louise, who's a supporter on YouTube. So people subscribe to our channels.
Right.
And I really got to thank them.
I'm a subscriber.
I know you're a subscriber. I saw you writing some comments, sending me some support.
I think I got you guys dinner last time.
You might have definitely contributed to the tip on our dinner, John Juro.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I heard you guys stayed out all night long.
We were at the end of the shoot. Yeah, the three of us went out and we're like, that was beautiful. And we thought, well, we're going to party and we're going to drink some drinks. We had like 2 drinks and we're like, okay, the meaning of life, bro. It's all awareness. It's all love. We're all together. And then we're like, this is the dumbest thing we've ever done, but it's beautiful. And it's thanks to our supporters. So Holly Louise, who's a supporter, says, do it. Make another video that just follows Rachel.
That would be cool. I don't know if we'd be able to get away with it, but I will. Yay, I'll ask. I love bending rules. I think that's why I'm out of administration now.
That's possibly right, because you were like high up in administration prior to that.
Yeah. So I was, I was a deputy director of ancillary services. So I ran all the stuff that, like, you don't go in and see a doctor directly. So pharmacy, lab, radiology, food and nutrition.
Basically the economic engine of the hospital.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, maybe this is just, I'd like to have a little too much fun. So this is perfect for me.
I love it.
It's good.
Well, Rachel is a star. They were all stars.
She's awesome, man. She was actually one of my employees, and she was just like in the video, she's just a joy to see every day. She's happy, same mood every day, always helpful. Never one that, like, as a boss, you come in and you're like, Rachel's knocking. You're like, okay, Rachel's here. She's going to either solve a problem, help me out, or just chit chat and it'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's great to have those type of employees, because we've all had the ones that are the opposite and are not very fun. Well, Logan's a nice kid, though. I mean, he's a nice guy. I mean, he might not be the best, but he's nice. Give him that.
So changing the
subject. Out of here, Logan. I don't know. I was trying for you, buddy, but
John is so generous and kind that he's giving Logan the benefit of the doubt.
I was trying for you, man.
Snot is my kryptonite, says Josette Williams. There it is.
Well, hey, now we know that.
Yep. It's a fact. Frau Nursing. Okay, let's go back from Facebook. Let's get back to from YouTube to Facebook. Working PICU, and they are amazing people who work there. Akasha Blackthorn, 1000%. Let's scroll down and see some more comments. He reads a spammer. I love it, Risa Dubois. So Risa is the queen bee of the supporter tribe. So she makes our merch, designs our merch with my assistance, but really does it. And it just sent out our first batch of merch, which are shirts that say "science the crap out of it" and "wash your damn hands" and things like that.
Nice, I like that.
She is a superstar. So when she leaves a comment, I try to read it anytime I can. Margie Corson says, Z-Dog, I've been overwhelmed lately with work and school and haven't been watching, listening much. I don't know why. You're a breath of fresh air and always bring a smile and reason. Well, Margie, then if you like what we do, support these guys, because they support us, and you guys don't realize how hard that is. It's really, really hard. And I'm gonna look right at Sutter Health, who told me to buzz off. I'm gonna look right at Stanford, who doesn't give me the time of day, even though I trained there and worked there. I'm gonna look at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, that told me no, their PR department says, no way are you shooting in our hospital. And I'm going to look back at you and say, thank you for being the best hospital on the peninsula.
We try.
We're
the foundation. They're the hospital. We support them. But
that's true. It's a separate thing.
Separate thing. But
without their help, we couldn't have done it. And it was a beautiful facility, wonderful staff, beautiful organization. And what you guys do in this community, it's my neighborhood, right? So I deeply care about it.
Yeah.
And
I grew up here, been here my whole life. So I same with you, man. I deeply care about this place. So it's awesome. And just FYI, we are already starting to get donations coming in, because they come in on my email.
I love it. This is like an NPR fundraiser.
So I just want to throw us a shout out to Dr. Scott Osterling. Thank you, Doc. Awesome. Love it. Thanks for the donation. He's one of our OBs at the hospital.
Nice.
Good guy. Lisa Johnson. Thank you. Good stuff, guys.
Dude, let me read a few of our previous $20 and up donors. So Lindy C, Audrey L, Madeline D, anonymous donor. That's my favorite name.
Good friend.
Mora, good. Me and Anonymous go way back. QAnon, he's my other homie.
There you go, right?
Mora E, Kim W, Jill H, Janet B, Michaela H, Philip B, Janet B, Josette Williams, I know who she is. Anonymous donor, Laura W, Pat H, Melissa M, Risa Dubois. Oh, Risa, you were generous too. Lisa K, Cindy T, Kimberly G, Carmelita P, Marielle, Sandra B, Marlis, John D, Kathy N, Joan L, Karen S, anonymous donor, Karen V, Integrative Psychiatry, James F, Red Salon, Angela G, Kira T, and Katie H. That's a lot of $20 donors.
Craig Brockmiller, Pulse Secure. Thank you, guys.
Craig is the bomb. He's a supporter, longtime supporter. Big fan of the show and a good person. Jessica Z says, you have a lot of sci-fi geek references in Princess Bride, Dark Crystal, etc., but never Doctor Who. Why? Obvious gap in your geek credentials. Well, were you a Doctor Who fan?
No.
Okay.
My dad is a Doctor Who fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to date myself right now. I haven't watched the new Doctor Who. I was a fan of the 80s Doctor Who. What's his name? With the curly afro, the white afro, and the scarf. That dude was the bomb. He was like, I think he was in the late 70s or something. But I used to watch that on PBS in the Central Valley in Clovis growing up.
Nice.
And the theme song would come on, and it would be this janky, like, tunnel. And ooh, and I love it. So you, Jessica, can deal with the fact that I am a Doctor Who fan, but old school, way old school, like OG Doctor. Exterminate.
So because of Doctor Who, is that why you then became a doctor?
I became a doctor because,
that sound. And
I was modeling on Doctor Who.
Right.
Like, I saw that he was fighting robots, and I too will fight robots. Little did I know that robot would be named Epic. Oh. And years later, I would still be fighting an Epic robot that says, exterminate.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with winning that battle. You listening, Judy? I challenge you to a duel. What else we want to talk about, my dog? Because this is the thing. Like, we put out that video. I have gotten so many messages from frontline healthcare people and administrators who were like, dude, I cried. I cried in the middle of that video. I don't know where you got that staff. I don't know how you were able to shoot, but it was awesome. So you're doing a thing, my dog.
It's good stuff, man. To everybody out there listening, if you can't support us, support something. Support your local community wherever that is. I don't care if that's $5 or going down and just saying, hey, I want to volunteer an hour for your next event or whatever it may be. We all need to give back. We got frontline healthcare workers giving back every day, and even those folks come out and help the foundation.
Yeah.
On their free time to help out. So as long as we all have that mindset, I think the world will change, hopefully, a little bit. We're all going through some crazy times in 2020, and it's, I don't think fun for anyone right now, but if we can all get out and help each other, it's just a little better place, right?
And now more than ever, philanthropy is our ticket because, things are falling apart otherwise, and we're in an election year, everything's chaos. It's like, well, okay, what can we do? Right. What can we do right now? Well, we can support something that we believe in.
Right.
And it may be as simple as thanking the grocery clerk for doing what they do and having done it all this time, at personal risk, or just being a little nicer to people.
Yeah, a little nicer. Go down to your local senior center. Go down, do something for somebody. We all worried about kind of what we're going to do with COVID and what, family and friends and all that stuff, but you can still help, small, big, whatever, anything in between. It all helps.
So guys, I think we did a thing. What do you think? Anything else you want to tell these guys? Like, what else is going on in the Yay? We've been in the middle of fires, smoke.
It's
been hellish, man.
It's been a heck of a year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a year. I've had a couple friends pass away this year. It's been a real down year as far as that goes. But I actually switched over from administration to the foundation right at the beginning of COVID, right in March. My wife was upset, yelling at me in bed, like in tears, saying, what are we going to do? You're going to be fired in a month because nobody's going to give you money during COVID, And I said, well, we'll figure it out. And at that time, I was definitely a glass half empty guy. And many months later now, I am a glass half full guy. People have come out of just everywhere. All the people supporting right now, I'm reading names from Indiana, from Pennsylvania, from New York,
all around the
all your
country.
supporters from everywhere. And then
what
even
you
our
guys are doing.
even our local folks, our local businesses, our local foundations have been helping us out, giving us grants, and it's been just eye-opening. I mean, I really was siding with my wife, like, this is going to be tough. I'm going to have to worry about a job in a few months, you know, and people have been so supportive and so supportive with, you know, if they can't give money, with time, with sewing blankets for us, with sending in PPE. I mean, for the first couple months, I had a guy in Burlingame, young kid, he was 26 years old. He was like one of those tech guys, and he's like, you know, I'm fortunate enough that, you know, I started a couple companies and sold them, and I'm just kind of waiting for my next thing right now. And I saw what was going on with you guys, so I purchased $200,000 worth of masks.
Wow.
And he went and spent $200,000 of getting KN95s. I think he gave us something like 8,000 masks for our hospital, and he gave a bunch to different hospitals around. And I'm just going like, wow, like, you just found us on the internet. He's like, yeah, I was up at 2 a.m. and I was worried. And so, you know, people have been just amazing. I mean, you know, Thatcher's Popcorn up in San Francisco gave us a bunch of popcorn, like tons and tons of popcorn to give to staff.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
You know, mynewredshoes.com. They're a company local that gives out shoes to people who can't afford them, things like that. They give us Crocs for our staff.
You see, what they don't understand, the popcorn people in particular, right? This is a beautiful gift, because when people eat a bunch of popcorn, they're more likely to get diverticulitis, which means they're going to get admitted to your hospital, which generates revenue. This is a gift that keeps giving.
You got actually one of our board members is a dentist, and Sees Candy gave us they gave us $142,000 worth of candy.
Oh my God.
Okay, so like it was like something like 30 plus pallets of candy, right? 6-foot pallets of candy.
Oh, you gave me some of that,
right?
Oh, now I see.
Right, and
I
so I looked at our board. You know, our board, and one of them is a dentist. She's been a dentist in the county for a long time, and I looked at her. I said, "Keeping you in business now. You know, we're just giving this out to everybody.
Real, man.
We're just keeping you in business.
And,
There's enough chocolate for everyone."
We talk about like pallets of candy and popcorn and all these big gifts that the 26-year-old tech guy gave. And then you have Jody Chance, who's a supporter, and she says, I donated today to a 1-month-old victim of random gun violence, shattered pelvis, femurs, reproductive organ damage.
See, there you go. You know,
these little acts.
Yeah.
What did remember George H.W. Bush called them 1,000 points of light? It was very politicized back then, but what he meant was everybody out there doing their part to support people in need as much as you can.
Right. Wherever you can. And whatever pulls your heartstring, you know, and if that's, you know, helping a gun violence victim or helping an abuse, whatever that is, help.
And Risa Dubois wants half a pallet her way. Thanks in advance.
No problem. You just send me an email and we'll get you some. San Mateo County Health Foundation. You can find me on our website.
You can find me in the lab. Full of crap.
We have lots of Sees Candy. It's not expired. It's old. You know, it's not old, but it's you know, like they gave it to us in April, and like, you know, there's a new batch out there now. So if you want some candy, shoot us an email. I will definitely get it out to you.
Like wine, it just gets better with age.
Right. It's fine. I actually just had one yesterday that expired like last month. It was great.
You gave me one of those boxes of expired candy,
it's good stuff.
It was a double-decker.
It's good stuff.
Okay. I brought it home because I'm, you know, Mr. Low Carb. I'm not going to eat this candy because I'm bigger than.
You ate the whole damn box, didn't you?
My kids ate the top layer in a night,
right?
And they're skinny as rails. And then I'm like, well, then I'll just have one.
Right.
Immediate hit of dopamine.
Yeah.
Immediate addictive craving. Next thing I know, I'd had like every single one that contained nuts in the thing because
who ate all that chocolate?
I know
that was you.
I blamed everybody in the house.
Yeah.
I blamed my assistant.
Right.
I was like,
who ate this?
Victoria.
That was
and then she hadn't eaten a single one.
We all did it. So like, you know, Paul, who you met, who's our board board pres, he our board chair, he he looked at me after we went and picked all that stuff up. Like the next day, came back, he's like, I'm never eating C's again. You know, I'm just like, yeah, I'm with you, man, because I ate like 4 boxes last night.
Dangerous stuff.
It's dangerous stuff. It's really good.
We are, exactly. Yeah. All right, let's see if we'll round it out with a YouTube comment. Josette says, great video, hits you in the feelers. Bash says, Doctor Who. Catherine Smith says, Epic is actually one of the better EHRs that I've worked in. Catherine Smith, me too. That doesn't mean, you know, it's kind of like saying, well, you know, I was in this particular gulag and it was really white collar. Like, you know, I had all the best, you know, chains and whips.
Right.
But it's still a prison.
It's still a prison.
We can do a lot better. Yeah. We have to demand it. I mean, I agree. Epic is the best of the worst to some degree, depending on the application, but we can't accept that. And the minute we start accepting this status quo, we're down a slippery slope to complete ruin, which you and I both know. Look, man, we were clinicians. It's like, gives you the twitches. Yeah. So any other words of wisdom for upcoming rad techs, dude? Because they're a big part of our audience and they never get love.
You know, I tell the rad tech, you know, because all the hospitals I worked at County, we get students that come in through all the time. So we have students all the time that rotate through Kenyatta College. And I tell them all the same thing. I say, look, you know, number one, take the cool part about our job is you can take the time with your patients. And it's quick. It's 5-10 minutes, but all the rest of the crap they have to deal with in their day, whether it's waiting in a long line in the ER, whether it's, you know, waiting for their blood to get drawn, whatever, make that 5 or 10 minutes you're with them the best 5 or 10 minutes of their day. Oh. So that no matter what happens before or after that, they can say, when I visited that x-ray department, they were cool. They took care of me. They explained where I was going next. They explained where I was coming from. They explained what was going to happen 2 weeks from now. They told me it might hurt a little bit, and they took care of me, you know? And so, like, I would say make that 5 or 10 minutes that you spend with anybody, any part of your day. Like you said, the grocery checkout guy. Why be a jerk? Be nice. Make their day a little bit better, you know? And so I would tell all the students do that. And I'd also tell them, go work at a level 1 trauma center.
Yeah.
If you don't work at a level 1 trauma center, you will not know what the breadth, the scope of what you do is. And once you go to a place like that, you will walk on water wherever you go.
Absolutely.
So go for the peak of that mountain, and you'll learn everything in a night.
That's pretty freaking good advice. Usually when I ask people to give advice, they freeze up or they go, don't
inhale or exhale.
Exhale. Never exhale.
Yeah, right.
Just hold it.
Right.
That's the key thing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And if you need to talk like this, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, that's the advice that I would kind
really
of give to the students.
It's really good
advice. Stuff. Real quick, Dr. Lee, Jackie Pelka, thank you guys. Those are all folks from the county. They donated to, my email is just going nuts. I don't know if my email can even handle it. All you folks out there donating, all Z-Dog supporters, this has been just a blessing. I mean, a blessing to work with you, a blessing to meet you. So far, I think your supporters have gotten us a little over, I think, $5,000 in that range so far. That's almost paying for a whole fertility treatment, right? I mean, you put it in that scope, you're paying for a life to possibly happen. And like, I get goosebumps saying that. I don't try to be all goosebumpy and prophetic with my speeches, but I feel like you're helping preserve a life, and I just don't know what can be better than that. $20, you're not gonna remember that a week from now, but that life, that $20 goes a long way. So
I'm very moved by what you said. I'm also very angry that you guys would give that much money to these clowns, and I'm not getting anything. Like, I'm getting a few stars.
They
here
know
and there.
you'll just have a party.
They know I'll have a party.
They know you
they'll know it's.
And I can't have a party. I'll get fired.
That's true.
Right?
You have accountability. Right. I have none. Guys, this has been like a real fun ride for us. We're so grateful to John, to the San Mateo County Health Foundation, to San Mateo Medical Center, to this community, and to this community. Yeah. The community that we all represent, which is the tribe of healing and the tribe of patients who care about this stuff, right? So, John, dude, thank you.
And look forward to more videos at the medical center, hopefully. Hopefully, we can do more. That was a fun day.
Dude, I'm looking forward. There's a few on the radar.
Awesome.
One is, what was it? Doc tried to make me go to rehab. I won't go.
We got a perfect little rehab area for you.
Excellent.
No problem.
And the other one is Shaggy.
We even got them with those old scary windows,
those are the
like,
best
let me out,
I love it.
Yeah, I
They're
got
trying to make me go to rehab.
Right. I got you.
And we want to do Shaggy, It Wasn't Me, about a guy who refuses to social distance, wash his hands, or wear a mask, ends up infecting everyone with COVID, but he's like, it wasn't me.
Right. No, that's a good one. That's actually
but I coughed on my grandma. It wasn't me,
That's actually a pretty good one.
And then it cuts to Shaggy when he does his his whole thing, and you're expecting this like big rap, and he's intubated, and he just says,
That's a good one. I want to be a part of that one.
Yeah, you can be the intubated guy.
Good. Let's see. Hey, get us in there, man. I would love to do that again. I mean, the staff have been asking me, all the staff who didn't go, like, they didn't hear about it or whatever, like, well, can I go next time? Absolutely.
I love it. I cannot wait. Dude, John, thank you so much, John Juro, San Mateo County Health Foundation. Everybody who's donated, Z-Pack.
Thank you, guys.
Share this video. Yeah. Because I think John had a lot of wisdom for us about how philanthropy works, about how community works, how kindness works, and how we, for the rad techs out there, finally some love for y'all. So, I mean, I think we did a thing.
Yeah, go to our website, become a monthly donor, help us out all the time. Be there, whether it's $1 or $2. We get donors that give us as little as $1 a month, but that helps us and helps our cause and helps us keep the lights on.
And that helps them help us make music videos.
That's
so from a pure practical standpoint, if you want to support,
we want to keep our lights on, so we
rehab
keep
and
these
Shaggy.
Lights on.
That's right. Lights are on. all
Got
over
it.
1,000 points of light. You see what I did there? I brought it all
and it all
together.
comes
I
around.
brought it all together.